Hey Baylor fans, this is your call to gear up with Harley-Davidson of Waco. Whether you're hitting the open road or tailgating at McLean Stadium, we've got the ride to match your Bear pride. Check out our wide selection of new and pre-owned motorcycles, visit our service department, or shop all the latest gear and accessories to show off your Baylor spirit and Harley pride. Visit us today and find your freedom on two wheels. Harley-Davidson of Waco, where Baylor fans never ride alone. Visit in-store or at hdwaco.com. Sic Em Bears.
Welcome into the Sic Em Podcast. John Morris, and we are joined by Madi Mitchell from Baylor Equestrian. Madi, welcome to you.
Thank you for having me.
Our Sic Em Podcast presented by Harley-Davidson of Waco. You a motorcycle girl at all?
No.
Just horses? All
Maybe
horses?
Motocross.
Oh, motocross,
Yes.
Really? Ooh,
Yes.
Daredevil.
Like the adrenaline.
That's great. So you grew up in Clarkston, Michigan.
Correct.
And what's your background with horses?
So I started riding when I was 4, and that was because I was born with hip dysplasia. So I had to wear a brace to walk, and riding was my therapy.
Wow.
My doctor happened to be a rider, and so she recommended it for my therapy, and then I just stuck with it, and I loved it.
Wow,
So,
amazing.
yes.
So I'm trying to picture this. How does riding a horse help with hip dysplasia?
So basically, hip dysplasia is your hips are in instead of out.
Okay.
And so riding it really allows you to open up your hips.
Wow.
And yeah, so over time, since I was so young, I'm still growing, and so it allowed me to open up and for my bones to grow like that.
How about that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know. You don't hear about that a lot. I've never met anybody else.
Oh, right. You haven't?
That's happened to, but
You may be a poster child, for cures or help with hip dysplasia. Is that something you grow out of, or you've worked your way out of?
yes, completely grown out of it.
Good. Well, that's good news. Starting at age 4.
Yes.
I guess at age 4, are you scared of big horses, or you have a healthy respect for them, or what was that like?
Not at all. I'm very much a go person,
Really?
and I've been like that since I was little.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think every little girl wants to play with a pony.
Yeah.
And so it was exciting, and I was never scared of it. I just hit the ground running.
Wow, how about that? Serves you well
Yes.
going into equestrian.
Yes.
Did you all have horses? Your family have horses growing up?
So my mom, she just had one pony growing up, but just for fun. She never competed at any level whatsoever. She kept the horse on a dairy farm and would keep it up north in Michigan, and they would go up on the weekends and trail ride out on the back roads, but nothing what I do. And so not really a background from my family.
Just from 4 years old, you had an awareness of horses, and you were around them some, but y'all never really had any.
No, while I was alive, my mom never had horses.
Gotcha.
So I
Right.
really wasn't around them at all.
Yeah. So getting into equestrian, what was that like? Equestrian at Baylor, what was that path
I was
like?
going to say, honestly, I don't remember. I just remember being a little girl having fun.
Yeah.
So for Baylor, I honestly, in high school, I didn't really know too much about college riding. And actually, our old jumping seat coach came up to my trainer while we were competing in Lexington, Kentucky. And she approached him and just asked him if I was interested in college riding, and then kind of got my wheels turning that maybe this is something that I want to do. And once I learned more about it and reached out to the coach, then I just thought it was a great idea. Why not combine doing what I love to do with learning?
How about that? That's great. So you were competing when you were in high school?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Whose horses were those that you would compete with?
So I did have my own horse.
Okay.
And then I was a student worker.
Okay.
And so I would kind of work for my trainer, and in return I would get rides on his horses that he owned, because he owned a lot of horses.
Okay.
And so I would be able to compete on his horses and kind of work off the cost of leasing a horse from him.
Yeah.
And paying for certain things like that.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Trying to think of Michigan, Clarkston, Michigan, and those cold winters. You got to go out and feed.
It's brutal.
Oh, I can't imagine.
It's part of the reason I came to Texas.
Right. And here we have some cold snaps here now, too.
I know.
But nothing like that.
No,
Yeah.
nothing like that.
Was Baylor an easy choice for you? Did you have some other opportunities?
I did. I was interested in a few other places, but Baylor really stuck out to me. I'm from a small community, and I really liked Baylor being a smaller place. Other schools kind of scared me a little bit, being so big,
Yeah.
and I really like having the tight family feel, and really feeling like I know everybody around me and can form relationships with professors and our coaches. So yeah.
Very good. And this is your fifth year here, fifth year
Yes,
senior.
yes.
So you've gotten really ingrained, haven't you, in Baylor and in the city of Waco.
Yeah, Waco has really grown on me.
Yeah, great.
I love it, and I think that it's becoming a really fun town. But yeah, 5 years I've seen Waco and the team in a lot of different places. And starting freshman year was COVID year, so that was really tough. We didn't really get to experience much. I always say that my sophomore year was really my freshman year. So it doesn't really feel like I've been here 5 years,
Yeah, I can
honestly.
see that.
Feels like this is actually my senior year.
Yeah.
So
How do you, I don't want to dredge up bad memories, but you come so far away to school and it's your freshman year and then COVID hits. That must have been a tough time for you.
it was hard for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming here, I didn't know anybody on the team or anybody that came to Baylor. So, and obviously my entire family was in Michigan, so it was definitely tough coming here and not knowing anybody and having to go through that. But I have a very supportive family. I'm really lucky. So.
Very good. Very good. Came through that, moved on, nothing but
No,
blue skies after
yes,
that.
I wouldn't change it.
That's good. Well, good. I'm glad you can look back and say that. What are you majoring in?
So I am majoring in communications and then a double minor in biology and entrepreneurship.
All right. Keeps you busy.
Yes.
Was there pre-PA in there at one
So I
point?
did want to go to vet school.
Okay.
And so first 3 years of school I was pre-med,
Okay.
health science studies.
Gotcha.
Made it through those 3 years and I was almost done, but I just realized that I didn't want to be a vet anymore. I
Okay.
didn't want that type of lifestyle. And I didn't want to go to school for that long.
Forever.
So, yes. So I was able to keep my minor in biology,
Okay.
which is helpful. So,
Is there, if I'm prying too much, you just tell me.
No.
Is there one class in there when you're on that path that kind of says you're doing this or you're going to look somewhere else?
honestly, those weed out classes that they
yeah.
call them, they kind of come like sophomore year.
Okay.
Made it through all of those.
Did you?
My least favorite was definitely genetics, but it didn't deter me from finishing the
Right.
major. It really wasn't like a specific class where
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
So I did make it through those weed out classes.
Good for you.
Yes.
You'll be a better person for making it through those. So communication is your
Yes,
major?
yes.
What would you like to do with that?
I'm really interested in doing medical sales.
Nice.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Good. So related, medical field.
Yes.
Maybe some of those early classes, they'll pay off for you there.
Yes, for sure. And I would really like to do veterinary medical sales. I mean, I can combine my passion
Oh, yeah.
with work. I think that would be awesome.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Would you like to, so you're on the equestrian team here, would you like to compete beyond Baylor?
I would maybe.
Maybe.
Once I get older, maybe it would be fun to do it and keep my amateur status for
Yeah.
that. But I think right out of school, I'm ready to experience a new way of life. And riding really takes up your entire life, and I've
Yeah.
been doing it my entire life. So I think that I'm kind of ready for a new phase of my life and experiencing new things outside of riding.
Gotcha. That's very fair. What's being a part of a team with 60 teammates like?
It's a lot of teammates.
It is.
It is, but I think that, like I said, I've seen the team in many different spaces, let's say, and this year for sure has been my favorite with team morale, and it is really hard. I mean, it's 60 girls that do an individual sport and putting them suddenly on a team together,
Yeah.
that's really tough to get everybody on the same page. And I mean, there's only going to be 20 girls competing, maybe tops 20 girls. So it's hard for everybody to kind of find a space on the team. And I think that this year it's been really awesome, and everybody is happy with where they're at in the team, and we work together really well, and we all have the same goal, and I think this year has definitely been the best year so far for me.
That's nice to hear.
Yes, yes.
And you're right about, growing up, you're not on a team. You're individual, doing
you're
this.
competing for yourself.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you have to be part of a team.
Yes, and all of a sudden everything that you do, it's for a greater good.
Yeah.
And for Baylor and for your teammates.
Good.
So.
Very good. What do you like to do away from equestrian? What are some of your hobbies?
Well,
is there time away from equestrian?
Honestly, there's not a lot of time.
Right.
It takes up a lot of time. And in between, I'm really just trying to focus on school, finishing up my schoolwork. But I'm an outdoorsy person, so
Okay.
I like walking, taking walks with my dog. I enjoy fishing. Yeah, anything I can do outside, really.
Nice. What's your dog's name?
Odie.
Odie. I like
Yes,
it.
I
What kind of
adopted
dog?
him. He's a pit bull.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Very good.
He's so cute.
And you've had already as we record this, you've already had a really good career, senior year, 3 MOPs in the flat, am I right? And 1 in fences. So
Yes.
do you feel good about your senior year, the way things are going?
Yes, for sure. It's been a great year, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without my teammates pushing us in practice. And I think that, yeah, we've been really pushing each other in practice, and it's paying off for us, for sure.
What about the senior group? I mean, that's a pretty big number if you got 16 total
is.
seniors, right?
Yeah, so there is 5th years and then a few early graduates, so
Right.
I think that's why the number is so large. So, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of seniors to lose from a team.
Right. Better allocate a little more time for senior day recognition.
Yes, I
than
know it's
normal.
going to take a lot longer. Last year was quick.
Yeah, true. Do you think on senior day you'll be emotional?
For
You think
sure.
it'll hit you?
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah, for sure it will. I feel like I'm thinking about that a lot more and more every day.
Yeah.
And it's definitely mixed emotions, like excited to
Sure.
start a new chapter, but I mean, 5 years in one place is a long time.
Yeah.
So
Good for you. That's great. So moving on beyond Baylor, let me ask you this: what will you take with you from your experience here at Baylor? The total experience, student, athlete, everything. What's gonna be with you the rest of your life?
it's a big question.
Yeah.
I would say the biggest thing is being able to count on people and realizing that you're affecting everybody else around you, and words matter, and that you don't have to be someone that's like boisterous to be a leader on a team or in a company, wherever. It's really important to lead by example, and that's been super important to me, leading by example for my teammates. I think the biggest thing for me coming to Baylor has been stepping into my faith, because I was not religious before coming to Baylor, so the team has really helped me with that, and I'm like super thankful for
Wow,
that.
that's great. Because, we like to talk about preparing champions for life, and the
Yes.
4 pillars:
Yes.
athletics, academics, social, and spiritual also.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you're very grounded and very balanced on those 4 pillars.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
that's great. All right, final question for you. We'd like to ask this of our student athletes on the Sic Em Podcast, and I sort of asked it already, but if you could describe to someone the Baylor experience, and you're coming at it from a student athlete perspective, how would you describe the Baylor experience?
I would say that, man, it's tough to put into a little bit, but one of the craziest things I think coming to Baylor is that when I would be at the library studying, I truly feel like you could do this nowhere else, is that I can leave my laptop and my backpack sitting on a table, and I could leave for an hour and come back and it's still going to be there. Nobody's going to be
that?
touched it. And I think that like speaks highly of the characters of everybody that's at Baylor. It really feels like a family, and you're super close to everyone. And I think because we are a Christian school, there's just a different feel to student life, and you even if you don't know somebody, you just have this connection with them, and you feel close to everyone. So I would say that it's just a really close-knit community, and it feels good to be a part of something like that.
Wow,
sure.
That's so good. Do you think you'll go back to Michigan, stay in Texas, go where the job leads you? What do you think?
I definitely don't want to go back to Michigan. I know my family's there. I
Right.
love my family, but I'm tired of the cold.
You can visit them.
Yes, exactly. I know my mom wants to move,
Yeah.
but I think that wherever the job leads me at this
Right.
point, but I definitely want to try to stay somewhere warm.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Waco's a great place.
Yes, I do love it.
Waco's
I
a
do.
great place.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And blessings on you as you near graduation coming up. You got graduation in May?
Yes.
What's that going to be like?
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not far away.
I know, it's coming really fast.
Oh, isn't that wild?
It's crazy.
Yeah. Some people say they come and then they blink and they're graduating.
I know.
Have you seen that?
Yes, totally. And being here for 5 years, it doesn't feel like 5 years at all. It
Yeah.
went by so fast.
Good.
So.
Well, thanks for being with us on the
Thank
Sic Em
you.
Podcast. Good luck to you. And we'll be interested to see where your path takes you beyond Baylor.
Thank you.
Great. Madi Mitchell from Baylor Equestrian on the Sic Em Podcast.